As we work through this process of figuring out who the victim is, we apply a principle we call a victim risk continuum, where we try to determine what level of risk this person is in. And people can go back and look at other shows that I've done on the victim risk continuum, but the idea is that when we understand the level of risk, we can start to get a picture painted of who the offender might be in this case. I feel like this is probably someone in her basic day-to-day life is a really low-risk individual. How do you feel about that assessment?
No, I would agree with you 100% based on everything that, we can just read off of, the story right now. I think everybody would agree that, yeah, this is a very, very low risk victim. Now, so that means, there's some other possibilities that present themselves, right?
That's a great point. I mean, statistically, and there's always the anomaly, but statistically, a low-risk victim is victimized by someone who is known to them. And the really frightening part to me is that not only are they known to them, but when they are victimized, they're a target of the aggression that was placed against them. There are some obvious people to look at in this case if she were classified only in this way without any other evidence brought into the picture. But there's some really important evidence that needs to be brought into the picture, because if the reports are accurate and she goes out on a bike ride, suddenly her situation, her circumstances, and her environment change and could propel her from being a low-risk victim to somebody who becomes medium or even high risk based on the different kinds of things that could happen to her. What would be some of those kinds of things that would change her risk level, in your opinion?
You would have, now you'd want to start thinking about, outside influences in relationship to, was there a predatory behavior around her? That she's out in the mountains. What's the roads? Who travels those roads, and are there paths? I think that within inside of that geographic region there are hiking paths. So that in of itself raises a risk that who's actually going down those paths. Is she a target at that point? Was she does she ride her bike? So you want to go into her habits. Is she riding her bikes consistently down this road to get to her main bike ride? I mean, and we worked in I worked in Southern California, so you would see every Saturday, man, these guys on their bikes, man, they're hitting that road and they're going from Oceanside to San Diego on that Highway 1 religiously.
Yeah.
Is she that mentality? And if so, that means she could have been somebody could be paying attention to her that may have other things on their mind.
Yeah, or frankly, she could be out on a road and nobody's paying attention to her and strikes her in their vehicle, and her risk level because of that circumstance and the environment suddenly propels her into this high risk category. Hey, thanks a lot for listening in today. We're really new at this, and we're trying to give you content that makes sense. And thanks for giving us a shot. I hope that we can do things that make sense to you. So until we get together next time, thanks a lot, and have a great day.